Hey fellow scholars, this is Tech with Sherry. This reading session presents GPT-3. It is an autoregressive language model with 175 billion parameters used in applications such as ChatGPT. For all tasks, GPT-3 does not require any training or gradient updates, only text prompt is required. GPT is a sequence-to-sequence or sequence-to-class model. The input to the model is the prompts that has different formats for different tasks. For example, for the task of sentence similarity, the prompt includes the two target sentences separated by a delimiter, with start and end of the prompt marked by special token. The input prompt's token embeddings are added with positional encoding before going through the model. So what is positional encoding? Position encoding contains information about positions and order of words. They play an important role in grammar and semantics of a sentence. The ordering was not enforced in transformer architecture due to self-attention mechanism. Therefore, the position of the tokens is explicitly encoded in the input tensor to the model. So how is the position encoded? Suppose the text embedding has dimension d, then positional encoding dimension should also be d. The value in position encoding is some function of the natural number position in text sequence. The model architecture is inspired from the transformer model shown here. The transformer model is made up of encoder and decoder block. However, GPT removes the encoder part and stacks the decoder part multiple times to get larger models. Since the decoder uses next word prediction mechanism, GPT predicts next word, add the new token to sequence of input, and recursively predict the next word. This process is called autoregression. The decoder layer is made up of several components, self-attention and feed-forward, with layer normalization before and after each component. The self-attention attends to past and present token while masking out all future tokens. The past and present tokens have different attention scores. The attention scores is used to compute the weighted average of all previous words vector representations. So how does self-attention work? The self-attention is made up of three components: query, key, and value. A common analogy is to think of it like searching through a filing cabinet. The query is like a sticky note with the topic you are researching. The keys are like the labels of the folders inside the cabinet. When you match the tag with a sticky note, we take out the contents of that folder. These contents are the value vector. Except you are not only looking for one folder, but a blend of folders. Multiplying query vector by each key vector followed by scaling and softmax produce attention score for each folder. Then multiplying the attention score by value vector produce the blend of values, or precisely, the weighted average of value vectors. The key, query, and value in self-attention are the weight matrix multiplied by input text sequence latent representations. The weighted average of input sequence latent representations is then fed into feed-forward network that outputs the probability that a word is going to be the next token for all word in the model's vocabulary. So now we got a model that takes a prompt and gradually predict the next word until answer are fully constructed. You may wonder, how is ChatGPT constructed from GPT-3? The answer is reinforcement learning. With typical language model, predicting the next token is different from following user's instruction helpfully and safely. To ensure model output aligns with user intent, the paper took three-step process. In the first step, it collects demonstration data that includes the prompt and desired output, and fine-tune model on it in supervised setting. In the second step, it collects comparison data and train a state-action value model that takes state and action and predict reward associated with such state-action pair. In the context of ChatGPT, the state is the prompt, the action is the potential output answers. Note that the model can have multiple answers to the same prompt. The labeler ranks the output from best to worst, which provides the reward associated with each of the prompt-output pair. This is used to train the word model. In the third step, it optimizes a policy against reward model. Given a new prompt sampled from the dataset, predict the reward for such output. Then the reward is used to update the policy using proximal policy optimization. This optimization technique does not use a buffer to store past experiences. It instead learns directly from what the agent encounters now. The policy is a function that picks the action to maximize the average of reward weighted by the probability of the action. The probability of selecting the action is learned by using gradient descent. This concludes the reading session for this video. Does this get your mind going? Let me know in the comments below.